which we are working on at a rapid rate. We also plan on including machine learning to the software of Teaser so that there is no negative content which users feel not required on the application. Teaser also has business applications in terms of giving an opportunity for businesses to grow or using the live video functionality, that is as a business telecall. So live video functionality these days, we are very much clear about having people to take a phone up and record a particular video and show it to the world, but also with a text comment at the bottom which disappears after the live video ends. But no one is actually interested to read those comments. With Teaser, we give an opportunity to take part in that particular live video, that is by posting a live video opposite to the person who is actually talking. So it becomes like a FaceTime, but with multiple people, say approximately between 10 to 15 people, who can pitch in their live video along with the person who starts it. So with settings that include in ways where with settings that are customizable by the user, you can either select the people whom you want to, or you can send out requests to the particular person, or also you can make it as a public domain where you can showcase what you are doing to the public market on the social networking platform. So not only this, apart from this, you also have usability in terms of social use. Because of a social networking platform, it also has to have some applications in the social market. So in respect to that one, Teaser also has benefits to be considered, like the main concept, if I have to talk about Teaser, it has in a way to promote the social networking cause. That includes, if I have to take, there are multiple applications, there are multiple websites on the internet which say, like, I change my city, for an example. You have to give a comment on the problems which you're facing in the particular region of a city and wait for thousands of comments, and people actually are not interested in reading all those 1,000 comments. And after that, they send it across to the government and take part and wait for an action to be taken. But with comments, it does not make much of an effect. But when you have a video posted describing about the same problem, just by taking your phone up and describing that there is a problem over here and I want it solved, that creates more of an impact. And when others pitch into the video which you have already created just by reacting on it, then it gives much more of an opportunity for the same cause to be taken into serious consideration. So these and multiple other applications are also possible. That again comes along with the usability of application, along with the thoughts of the user, how they want to customize the application. So in the end, I would like to sum up by saying that we give the users an opportunity to be what they are on a social networking platform before anyone tells them what they have to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaitanya. I would request all the startups to take 5 to 6 minutes for their presentation here. Now I welcome Rishi Kumar, founder of Grok Torrent Food Private Limited.
Hello everyone, I'm Rishi, and today I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. So today we have two options for our daily food. One, grocery, and the other is restaurant. In grocery, it takes a lot of time, effort, skills, and moreover, I'm not even sure if I have all the ingredients or the equipments that I need. In case of restaurant, I am often skeptical about the freshness and hygiene. It's unhealthy for sure, and it costs a lot. So grocery is a hassle, and restaurant is not the option for our daily food. So, do we see any third option for our daily food? Let me introduce you to Recipe Kit. Recipe Kit is a packet which contains all of the ingredients you need from oil to garnish. Every ingredient is freshly prepared on order, so there is no preparation time. Every ingredient is perfectly portioned, so there are no leftover wastage. And the best part is, you get a recipe card to guide you throughout your cooking journey. Now, we are not the first one to do this. There have been companies before in world who has been doing this. There is the giant Blue Apron in US with an annual sale of $900 million last year. And there are more. HelloFresh, Plated, Cook Gourmet in India, Burgundy Box, and close to 50 more. Now, do you realize that this solution, buying only what you need to consume, could be a solution to food wastage? But to make a change that big, that affects us all, we need to make a dent at least this big. So, to reach out to the mass majority of the people, we need to reach a lot of people. We need to balance out their choices, because once the novelty wears off from this idea, people will demand their choices. So we came up with customizations. Uh, just So you can change the brands of the ingredients. You can increase or decrease the quantity. So let's say you want more mozzarella cheese or less. You can change the processing. And moreover, you can also exclude any ingredients. The best part is you can save the recipes and add it to your monthly subscriptions. So coming to the product line, of course, once the novelty wears off again, people would want to cook, cakes and besan ke laddu and bhindi, aloo gobi. So this is our product line. We offer Theka Tales for Long Island tea if you want to host a party for your friends. There is Bakery Shala for cakes. There is Kitchen Protein for diet food. There is Sushi Cart for sushis. So this is our product line. And those little dots that you see around the world, that is Chef Lapum, our most premier division. So to reach the wider audience, website and mobile application are the perfect way to go. But again, a majority of us goes to our daily grocery shops for purchasing our daily needs. That is why we came up with GR Retail. GR Retail is one of its kind platform where user can come to our shop, see our menu from there, and tell their phone number and address to the retailer, and their order gets delivered within 1 hour to their homes. So they don't have to go through website application and mobile application. So this is our business model. We are coming up with APIs for recipe bloggers. So this will be our, we'll be crowdsourcing our recipes. The next is self-access kiosk along with GR Retail. So down the line, we'll be coming up with self-access kiosk with this fingerprint technology. So using only one step, you can check out. And in case of scaling, we'll be scaling via franchisees in India and provide software as a service in abroad. Because in abroad, the market has already been established, but it's not hyper-local. It's being delivered through 3 delivery centers all across the United States. So that's not the way to go as we think for this idea. So this is what we've been doing from last year. We have this studio, Groston Cooking Theatre, where we host our cooking classes for housewives and to connect with them. This is our office that we developed, where we have more than 20 people right now working on this idea. And this is our delivery center. You can see the weighing machines that we developed with the embedded technology, which are integrated with internet, which enables us to pack our recipe kits in 4 minutes right now. So right now I am asking for your help to, in 1 year we built something that everybody needed. We had a product line which was as diverse from sushi to laddu and to bhindi. And moreover, we are offering customization and everything. But the challenge that I am facing is we need to make people aware of it. Because while talking to customers, we have felt that they are doubtful because of, MTR and Maggi. They have these doubts that it contains preservatives and it contains this. So we have to make a lot of awareness. And that is why we need your help with raising funds right now. Thank you. Please tell me if you have any questions. So right now our current revenue per day is from 10 to 12,000. So we are selling more than 25 to 30 recipe kits daily. And this another vertical, Kitchen Protein, is going really good. So for that we have 50 to 60 users for Kitchen Protein. That we'll soon subscribe to, we'll have monthly subscriptions for Kitchen Protein, and this is our current status right now. And the target capacity that we have for one delivery center is annually 3 crores. Right now, our revenue run rate is 460 lakhs per annum. So, using the retail network that we have planned, I'm sure we will be able to achieve that target. Then, down the line, 3 months, by October, we plan to come to Gurgaon and then to South Delhi.
Which cities are you operating right now?
So, what happened was when I had the idea, so Gurgaon and South Delhi seemed like the perfect choice to go. But this idea took a lot of, because there were no consultants or something, who could help us. So we established ourselves in Faridabad to cut down our overheads, for the time till we were exploring things, kind of like honeymoon periods. But now we are sure what we have to do, and when we'll come to Gurgaon and everything, we won't be burning more money. So that was the point of coming to Faridabad.
I've missed the first 2-3 slides, but what is the amount of money you want to raise and why you want to raise it?
So the amount of money that we are raising is close to 500,000 right now. And the reason we are raising is because as an engineer, I was particularly very naive with marketing before. So I thought word of mouth would work, but that's a hope. So to make people aware, we need to create a lot of impressions using NPI and digital marketing and at cost. So the first reason that we need funds is for marketing. The second we need is we have made the technology, we have made the backend processes and everything, but still it needs to be strengthened. So that is why we need more funds. The third, then we need is for growth, opening new franchisees and standardizing the process. So these are the main 3 points for which we require funds.
The amount of equity you want to dilute there?
Pardon?
Amount of equity you want to
So the
dilute
amount of equity that we are planning to dilute is close to 20%. And also I would like for you to know that we have already invested in this business close to 1 crore. From our parents have been our investor till now. Like you also, they also, invest in people. They said, ki engineer ho gaye, sabji kya bech. So.
Your 50 lakhs is from what period?
Pardon?
You said you have an income of 50 lakhs.
So-
For what period is it?
So that's the revenue that we are making right now. So
Over a what period? A month, a year, 6
for a
months?
year, sir.
For last 1 year, you've made 50 lakhs.
No, we didn't make, we have been operational from last 2 months
Okay.
with this. So the revenue run rate that we have is projections, we will get a revenue of 60 lakhs per annum. But it's the month on month, there is daily growth.
No,
Tell you
no, I'm not
honestly.
worried about the growth and all. I want to know what's your current status.
What, sir?
What is your current status? So how much have you made in the last 2 months? What's your revenue?
So in last 2 months, we have made a revenue of 5 lakhs around because we did events. So where we sold, 100 kits, so including everything, we have made a revenue of 4.5 to 5 lakhs.
What I understand, you're making out in kits which you can deliver to homes. It's a completely raw, right? Raw items.
What we do is, let's say you order malai kofta. So the koftas are difficult to, make at home. So we already made those and we give it to you deep fried, so you don't have to worry about, making. So we assist you with the best way, you don't have to worry about all the hassles. So it's just easy as Maggie right now to cook.
So on an unit economics, how does it work? Is it what kind of profitability?
So let's say
you
we
have
are, an average recipe kit cost us 200. The net margin, excluding the food cost, is 50%. So out of those 100 rupees that we save, there are operational expenditures and delivery expenditure and everything else. We are planning to exclude the delivery in the recipe, apart from the recipe cost, to provide better services.
So it's if it's a 200 rupees, 100 rupees is the cost, and then
Right, and this cost will go down to 80 rupees, because food is much more cheaper when you buy it at large. So right now, our sale is not that much, so we have to buy, from local retailer, from local distributors. But if we are to scale at, our full capacity, we would be able to purchase in larger quantities, which will be much more cheaper.
okay. The last question: how do you differentiate from the other competitors? Like you mentioned.
So exactly the point I made was ki these companies, 50 companies that there are, if you will look onto their website, their philosophy is ki we'll help people cook gourmet cuisines at home. our philosophy is we'll help people buy only what they need to consume. So when we came up with the idea, we came up with such a big product line because we took it from grocery side, and that is why we came up with, customization and everything. Our competitors are, like 10 recipes a week, we give it to you, and also the cost of the dish. They are selling, this company cookgourmet.co, so it's based out in Gurgaon. They are selling their chicken breast for 600 rupees for 2 person. Ours cost is 250 rupees. So we don't charge for the premium for the idea. We are charging just for the grocery.
I have a question.
Yes.
So how many unique users you have had in last 2 months, and how many have there been repeat for you?
So the customer repeat rate is high because, the exact numbers, I'll not be able to give it to you right now with the unique customers because it's on increasing. But the last time I saw, it was close to 500 unique customers that we had from Chef Lapum, our division. Kitchen Protein, we had close to 150 to 200 because, and the repetition is when they have any guest at home or something, they call us and they order. But we need to create more impressions because people tend to forget with the marketing and everything that is happening around here. They love the idea, they experiment with us, but then, we need to reach out to them daily. So that's the case with retention. But we have had more than, 20% or 25% retention, I would definitely say. Any more questions I can entertain? All right, thank you.
That was an interesting presentation, and I think the references of Star Wars was very interesting, personally. So yeah, let's welcome Arunabh Sinha, founder of uClean here, to present his ideas to all of us. I would again request you people to please take 5 minutes to 6 minutes for your presentation. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Arunabh, and I'm the founder of uClean. So at uClean, we are building India's first integrated cleaning solutions company. And the idea and the vision is to become the one-stop shop for all cleaning requirements in a family or in a household. So whether it's dirty clothes, dirty carpets, dirty sofa, dirty shoes, dirty bags, uClean is already catering to all such services. And all these services are being offered through physical brick and mortar stores, which are currently 10 of them that are operating on a pan-India basis. And these brick and mortar stores are further enabled by technology in the front end. While the overall idea is to focus on all cleaning services under one roof, laundry is something that is the heart and soul of the brand, because laundry is a business that has a very high consumer purchase frequency and a very high usage pattern, unlike the other services like carpet or sofa, which typically would be utilized once in 6 months or once in a year as well. So if you look at laundry market in particular, the overall market size is pegged at $35 billion. Almost 97% of it is being serviced currently by unstructured mom and pop operators and your local dhobiwalas. So there is a very interesting opportunity for players like ourselves to provide a structure to all the services and take a significant share of the existing pie. Given the hyper-local nature of the model, so we believe that the model would work very well when a single store caters to about 3 kilometers radius in and around the store. So because of that hyper-local nature of the model, there is a huge potential to scale the business, and a city like Delhi or Mumbai in itself represents a 500 plus store opportunity. So as a comparison, if you look at cities like Kuala Lumpur or Jakarta in Southeast Asia, which are like behaviorally and culturally very similar to India, each of these cities would have more than 2,000 such concepts that are already in operation and operationally profitable as well. So we feel that in India itself would represent a 1,000 store opportunity for uClean over the next 10 years. We started off in November when we went to the drawing board and created the idea. Since then, the growth has been good. So on today's date, we already have 10 stores that are operational between Delhi NCR, Pune, and Hyderabad. And another 10 stores are scheduled to get launched in the next 3 months. So we would be entering cities like Mumbai, Goa, Bangalore, and Ahmedabad with the first Uclean stores. And we already have master franchisees for multiple states locked in. In terms of revenue, there are 4 revenue streams that are already in operation. So one is the franchise fee. So every time that a franchisee comes on board the system, there's a certain franchise fee that he shells out for exclusive development rights for his territory. Every franchisee also pays an ongoing royalty, which is charged on a monthly basis and is a % of the revenue that he is generating. Apart from that, there is a one-time equipment sale that happens to each franchisee. So we do make certain revenue on that. And then the franchisee also would require consumables like detergent and cleaning solutions. Again, there's a margin over there for the brand as a whole. Apart from this, there are certain stores in Delhi NCR which we are operating on our own. So these are like stores which have been invested into by the franchisees but are being operated by the company. So we are also getting income from those stores. There is an interesting licensing opportunity which would come into picture once we have built a solid brand equity in the market. So we would get into contract manufacturing of cleaning solutions and detergents, and we would also extend it to laundry bags. So there's an unexplored opportunity which would come into play in some time. In terms of the team, we have been we have been able to bring together multiple stalwarts from the industry on one common platform with one common mission to build a segment. In terms of the partners in the brand, we already have Franchise India. Franchise India has invested into Uclean, and they are also the guys who are leading the entire charge in terms of franchise recruitment. So a lot of franchisees that have come on board in the last 6 months and are slated to come on board in the near future, they have all been recruited through Franchise India. We also have partners in Alliance Laundry Systems. Alliance Laundry Systems is the world's largest and oldest manufacturer of commercial laundry equipments. They control about 70% of the global market share in terms of laundry equipments. We have an exclusive pricing arrangement with Alliance Laundry Systems where the price points that we get from them is significantly lower than the price point any other franchisee or any other operator would get. They're also helping us with technology and training. Soha Ali Khan and Kunal Khemu are also partners in the brand, and they make very important strategic partners for us because they represent the ideal kind of demographic that we are targeting. So they represent the double income, no kid families or the double income families where both the husbands and wives are professionally employed. So even if you look the kind of fan following that they have on social media, they are targeting the kind of customers that we would ideally also want to reach out to. As for myself, I have a good amount of experience in the franchising and industry. So I have helped close to 40 international brands in entering India in the last 9 years. Prior to starting Uclean, I was building the North India business for a company called Trebo Hotels, which is now a 300 plus store company. And I'm a graduate from IIT Bombay. So in terms of vision, we are looking at becoming a 300 store company by 2020. With a total annualized revenue of 1,000 crores. So this is basically the revenues of all stores put together. And we would have a team of about 1,200 people managing these stores. And we would target to be present in about 50 cities. In terms of the funding requirement, there are 3 challenges that we would want to handle. One is, given the kind of business that we are in, recruitment is a big challenge that we are still grappling with. We are targeting to hire about 1,200 people who would be basically skilled and unskilled labor coming from different parts of the country. So we would want to set up a skilling academy and the recruitment academy of our own, which would be operated out of tier 3 cities of Bihar, Jharkhand, and Odisha. We would, currently the only part of the business that is outsourced is dry cleaning. So we would want to set up our own dry cleaning facilities in every city that would cater to all franchisee stores. And the third opportunity is we would want to build a stronger team, strong tech, and strong marketing. So keeping all these factors in mind, we are looking to raise about 9 crore of funding. So I'm happy to take any questions that you guys might have.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sagar. I have a question for you that how would you help the franchisee? What would be the support that you would provide to that franchisee, and how would you ensure the ROI of that franchisee?
So the support system for the franchisee in a sense is 360 degree. So we have full-fledged teams for projects, operations, and marketing. So any franchisee that comes on board the system, we help him with location. So we, in the event that the franchisee is not able to find a location for himself, we have full-fledged teams that would actually source the location, set up the entire project for scratch from him. We are also recruiting the staff directly for our franchisees, training of the staff, setup of the operations, streamlining of the operations, and regular ongoing support in terms of marketing so that we are able to get the customers to the doorstep. So all this is part of the franchise package that we are offering to the prospective franchisees.
You said there's 2,000 of these in Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta. Where do you get these figures from?
Sorry, sir?
You had said there's 2,000 of these in Kuala Lumpur. Okay. I am curious, where do you get the data? Do you have, it's just a plug figure or what? Before you answer that, I live in Kuala Lumpur, so just to...
Sure. Yeah. So out of the 2,000 plus laundromats that are there in Jakarta and Kuala Lumpur, about 1,300 of them is directly operated through Alliance Laundry Systems. So that data is coming directly from the company which is supplying the equipment. And good thing that you have been living in KL, so there are housing societies.
No, I don't just live in KL. I am from Malaysia, so...
Okay. So there are housing societies in KL where you would have 30 different laundromats that are operating from the basement. So this holds true for Jakarta also and KL also. And actually I got my inspiration while I visited, so I've been also visiting KL and Jakarta quite often in the last few years, and there are basements of housing societies where we would have 30 laundromats that are operating right next to each other and servicing about 1,000 apartments that are present within the societies.
Yeah, but how does that work into this? They're all individual people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So how does it, jive into your model?
The opportunity. So if you look at the opportunity that exists in India is even bigger than what it exists in KL or in Jakarta for that matter. There are brands like there's a brand called Simply Fresh, which is present both in Jakarta and KL, and between the two cities, Simply Fresh would have about 700 stores that are operational. We have slightly pivoted off from the model in the sense that for a country like India, especially given that we are into the franchise model, we would want the ROI to come as soon as possible. So that is why we have diversified our services portfolio. We started off as a laundry company in January, but keeping the ROI concerns in mind, we decided that we would want to add as many cleaning services as a typical household would require, and we diversified into other services. And this was also basis the feedback that we received from the customer. So as a customer, if I am someone who is using your laundry services, I would prefer if you can also offer me carpet cleaning or sofa cleaning for that matter.
I have a question. What is the percentage you offering to the franchise in terms of, because you're operating everything? Secondly, what is the percentage of the equity dilution you're looking at for the investor in terms of this? And how are you tackling the logistics? Is it a home delivery you offering? Or is it something the customer has to come to your franchisee and wash it and take it home? What's the module?
So both the options are available. UClean, so very honestly, the vision behind UClean is that you as a customer come down to the store and clean yourselves, something that is very popular in Europe and Southeast Asia. But at this point in time, we are talking about driving a behavioral change in India. Do-it-yourself as a concept is something that is still very new to India. It's not only about laundry, it's about other services as well. So we are offering full-fledged pick and drop services within 3-kilometer radius of the store. And the pick and drop service is offered directly by the store. So each store would have a delivery boy who would be responsible for the pick and drop services. In terms of the
franchise, like what is the revenue model for them? Like You giving machines, you operating the operation cost is from your side. So what is that the franchisee getting? Are you offering them as far as percentage?
So there are both models. So one is franchise-owned, company-operated or FOCO model, wherein we operate. So once the store is set up, the franchisee hands over the store to us. We operate the store and we give him a certain percentage of the revenue that we generate from the store. The second option is franchise-owned, franchise-operated, wherein we skill the franchisee's team. We work with them on operations and marketing, but all the operational expenses are directly borne by the franchisees, and the profit that is coming through the store directly goes to the franchisee.
What is that percentage, if I may ask you?
Sorry?
What is that percentage, if I may ask you?
For the FOCO model? Yeah, so it's 15% of the revenue.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your model is, it's a nice idea. Congratulations wherever you have reached till now. I think franchise is the right way to move into it. So why do you need money? Because your business is an operational and a capital centric business. Capital you are already arranging through the franchise model.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So and I'm assuming that there is already in demand, which because you have 10 stores, you may have checked it, and
Sure.
plus you want to scale it to 300. So, why do you need money for? You already have, you have already taken care of the challenges by going into the franchise model, which is the right model for such kind of business.
So absolutely. So in terms of cash flow, we are absolutely cash flow positive and pretty healthy in that sense. But the idea is that the challenges that I talked about, for example, the fact that we are grappling with recruitment of blue-collared manpower, or the fact that dry cleaning is the only part of the business that is currently outsourced, and hence standards and consistency are not under our control. So in terms of setting up these part of the businesses, the investment required is pretty heavy. So one option is we could wait it out, build our cash flows, and invest in setting up these services or setting up in the manpower recruitment process, say 24 months down the line. The second alternative is I would want to build it up immediately, and that is something that I'm looking at, because at the end of the day, given that Uclean is a new brand, so the franchisee is not only investing money, it's also an investment of faith that he's doing. So I would want his ROI to come as soon as possible. The moment I have these two challenges or these two pictures of the puzzle solved, I would be able to offer the elements that are, I would say, currently not as strong as I would ideally want them to be.
You've been in operation for the last 4 or 5 months, right?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
And the way you have showed your vision, I think, isn't it too early for looking at creating your own detergent brand and possibly skill development and our recruitment and everything, right? I think you probably need to look at least 100 stores, look at what the scale is, what kind of things, logistics and everything needed, and then probably look at all these things. 9 crores, so I agree with him. I don't think you need it right now, and you should, trust me, you should sit it down. Because 10 is jugaad, right? After 10, it will be probably the scale would go up. You would need to look at little bigger problems to solve. Once you are able to do that, then hiring 1,200 people or 3,000 people will be a bigger challenge you probably should
Sure.
see.
So absolutely. So in terms of the detergent and the cleaning solutions, obviously that's a pure play income opportunity. So that is something that we are not looking at immediately. So that's why I did not present it on the slide also, but it's a long-term opportunity that we would explore once we have built a solid brand equity in the market, which would only come once I have 100 to 150 stores operational. But in terms of manpower, it is an immediate challenge that we are grappling with, and a challenge that we would want to solve ASAP, because I am in the business of franchising. As a franchisee, when you come on board, you are investing in a concept that is effectively very new to the market. You are investing in a brand which is also very new to the market. So you would need a lot of support and hand-holding from us, and manpower is something that is most critical. Recruiting the blue-collared manpower because given that the industry is new, finding this kind of manpower is not easy. So what we are currently doing is we are recruiting staff from companies like Shoppers Stop and Lifestyle, trying to skill them, trying to train them. But given that they are also not from this kind of industry, the stickiness is still very low. So I feel that we really need to build a talent pool which would come from tier 3 cities, people who are educated or who are semi-educated, but who are looking for job opportunities, because they would stick to the brand. They are not people who have been exposed to retail or exposed to other industries. For them, this is we are effectively giving them a break. They are getting into the job. They would stick to the job. So I feel that because of the nature of the model, manpower can actually make or break the model. So this is one part of the business I really want to address immediately. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arunabh. I would again request you guys to please keep it till 5 to 6 minutes. Also, only the investors are allowed to question. Now I would request Baljit Singh and Naresh Ji from Elogy to come here and present their ideas to us.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Baldeep. He's Naresh, and we as co-founders today represent Elogy to all of you. At Elogy, we are transforming rural logistics with a keen aim of bringing the urban delivery experience to rural India. And before we actually get down into talking about how we do it and what we do, I want to just take a minute into asking a question to all of you. Does anyone know where Dumri is? Maybe barring the people who attended the PPT, the presentation yesterday. I assume not many of you. So assuming for the moment that, let's say Dumri is a very remote place somewhere in India, my friend Naresh will talk more about in subsequent slides. But assuming that it's a remote place somewhere in India, and just a moment, imagine that you being there with a decent internet connectivity, which allows you to probably browse all the e-commerce portals that are available, but beyond browsing, you can't do anything. That area is non-serviceable. And that's where Elogy pumps in. That's where Elogy kind of kicks in, and that's our biggest USP. Next slide. So at Elogy, we are the last mile solutions delivery solutions company for rural India, which is tech-enabled. And we try to solve this problem by creating a hybrid delivery network of hubs and spokes. My friend Naresh will talk about in detail on the subsequent slides. But just to give you a flavor of the idea, we probably tie up with the 3PLs and the e-commerce logistics companies with an intent to open up more PIN codes for them, with the intent to give them more reach at lower fixed costs. Just few numbers on where the business opportunity lies. If you can see in 6 years, the entire e-commerce logistics market is potentially slated to kind of go almost 10x with almost the last mile rural logistics is also going to kind of go a 10x way, and we assume almost 50% of this will come from rural logistics. Let me just quickly hand it over to Naresh to talk about the next slide.
So my friend has asked you the question, where is Dumri? So I'm here to answer that. So there's a place in Balia, which is in the far east of UP. It's a small village there. What is the difference of living in Dumri versus living in Delhi? One thing is, they might have similar standard of living, or when I say similar standard of living, their requirements, their desires, and what they want to have. But they are not accessible, they don't have access to all those products. So that is where we are trying to come here, which is, we are setting up hubs in each district where we will be having a small sorting area, and our clients, who will be Amazon, Flipkart, or any other big brands who want to deliver their products to the rural areas, will be giving it to us here. Here we are going to sort it out and ship it to our entrepreneurs or our team members in the Tehsil area, who are going to ship it into the villager's home. But what is so special about it? This is what every logistics company does it. Every e-commerce delivery company does it. And there are already so many companies in the same field. So that's where Elogy has looked at the problem in a different way. The biggest challenge why most of the bigger e-commerce delivery companies don't enter the rural areas is because one is the demand part of it. Currently, they don't know whether demand is going to come or not, and if the demand comes in, it might be intermittent and it might be sporadic. That's one part of it. And the second thing is the cost of delivering very, very low volumes to these remote locations is a very, very costly affair, and they don't have the unit economics. So we took this as a challenge to see how to bring down the cost of delivery to this location and how to ensure that we can work with temporary employees, not a full-time employees, what every organization in logistics works currently. How to make that happen? The biggest part was how to handle temporary staff and ensure a very, very good delivery percentage. So that's when we started to collaborate with a company called Sahaj, which is common service centers. They have around 40,000 odd service centers, common service centers in various villages. So they are our initial seed funding company also. So that's where these entrepreneurs come in. They already have around 90 to 95% of the revenue coming from that source, and we will be offering the remaining 5%. The way a newspaper delivery boy works, morning 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, he is going to work in delivering the newspapers and going back. The same way, he is going to work from evening 4 to 6, picking up all the assortment that he is getting at his office. He is going to deliver it to the end locations. And the biggest part here is the cost, which is from the district headquarters till the tehsil, which is a very, very long distance. It can be as long as 50 kilometers even. So that's where we came across crowdsourced transportation. We will be onboarding at least 4 to 5 people who are going every day on the same route in a repeated manner. It can be auto rickshaws, it can be buses, or it can be the FMCG delivery vans. There are a lot of people who travel in the same road every day. So we are going to onboard them with the proper background checks and using our app, and the products will be transferred through them. So we will have the visibility to see who is the nearest person currently, and a request will be given to them. They can come in, pick up our luggage, and our entrepreneur is going to receive it on the highway there. Yeah. So just to explain the model a bit more clearer, this is the existing model where most of the people work on. So we have the district level. Currently we are going with franchisee partners, where we take a franchisee bank guarantee for the entire operations. Then here we have the entrepreneurs at the block level or the tehsil level who deliver to the end customers. And to make everything happen, we have come up with a proper tech platform which is going to enable all this part. The first part is the onboarding of the entire people. So there's a lot of training that has to be given since it will be a part-time employees there. So that's where we come up with the entire selection part of it on who are the people who are relevant to this business, who can be ready to work from those locations. And then we give a proper training. Then we onboard them with proper background checks, eKYC, bank guarantees, and other agreement part of it. That's how the onboarding happens. Then we have the software backbone to actually minimize the risks of late deliveries as well as the COD remittance. COD is a very, very important part for any e-commerce delivery. And what we have done is we have done an automatic COD remittance through our own wallet. We have a closed wallet where the customer, the entrepreneur is going to put their money into it just before going out for delivery. So they receive the cash from the customer. The customer is going to get a OTP one-time password. The cash and the OTP will be given to the entrepreneur who is delivering there. He's going to enter it. Immediately the money is going to deduct from the wallet into our account, minus the commission part of it. So he's going to earn his commission immediately, as well as he gets the cash back where he's going to deposit back into his wallet or into his bank account. In that way, we are able to get T+1 remittance in the rural areas, which is currently very, very challenging task even in the urban areas. And the next part is on the data analytics. The addresses is a very, very complicated part in villages. If any of you have visited villages, getting the right address is a very, very complicated part. And
time up. I'm really sorry. I will have to take it over.
Yeah. So the addresses using the Google Map is one other part of it. Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Questions from the investors are welcome.
So you can open the traction and keep it. Okay. The numbers can be visible. So we are at 4 months into this business. So we have done one pilot with around 2,300 shipments, and the pilot was successful. We identified a lot of issues in the app, in the tech platform. Currently, we are iterating on the tech platform. There are around 4 key parts of the entire the differentiators. We tested those individually as well as the entire link. We currently have 3 customers, clients already onboarded. One is Akash Tablets, which they sell through TV commerce. The second one is Delivery, which is a big e-commerce delivery company. We are doing the last mile deliveries in 2 districts currently. And the last one is ShopClues. Currently, we are in the legal agreement part of it and the API integration. Once we do it, we are going to launch their rural logistics for them.
So why rural only?
So that's if you ask Amazon or Flipkart or any of the companies who are already working pretty well in the urban areas, for them that is the next wave of growth. Even from the India growth perspective, the way we call us, we are looking ourselves as a profitable social impact company. So rural areas with the 4G advent coming in and with a lot of importance given to the road infrastructure and the rail infrastructure, I think this is the right time where the rural areas can actually catch up with the urban areas in terms of the delivery experience.
So I mean, at least in last 1 year, there were many endpoint delivery companies, and there were a couple of them which got funded also.
Right.
But they're closed down now. What's the reason? What is the challenge you see there?
Yes.
There were, I mean, the last year, I believe there were a lot of VCs who invested into the last mile connectivity companies.
Yes.
But except for the one which has been invested by Flipkart or Amazon or their own companies, they are the one who is surviving, but rest of them couldn't survive. What was the reason? What do you think is the reason?
So the most of the companies that you have mentioned are more of the hyper-local companies, where they are delivering the groceries or delivering the hyper-local in urban areas. So there it is a difficult part because most of these guys are working on full-time employees. There's a cost that you're going to expend even without getting a returns on it. And our model is on the completely asset-light model, where we don't have that risk standing here.
Yeah, and just to add to your question, we are actually today better placed in terms of handling rural logistics because our seed investor, Mr. Sudhit Kanoria, he owns Sahaj as a network. Sahaj has been in the region for past 7 years, only focusing on rural India. And we have presence across 40,000 CSC centers, which are spread across 7 states. So that way, we are kind of well poised to kind of use that network to network of entrepreneurs to kind of start doing deliveries, to kind of come on to the logistics platform also. Does that answer your question, sir?
I think I have some follow-up question.
I will just add to his question. So there are similar platforms who are trying to do something exactly similar in the tier 2 cities. I'm not talking rural, but tier 2, Jaipur, Ludhiana, right? Guwahati, Dehradun, all these places. And they are facing the same challenge because the e-cards of the world, right? When they were offering them some commission, the money is never being delivered. There is a challenge between the money flow from the people who are giving that work to them. That's one. Secondly, even if you are able to solve the recruitment challenge, right? So if you have temp staff, you will still have a bigger challenge of supply to keep you yourself sustain. So this is basically a demo, I would say, right? A trial which you have done in one of the cities, a town.
The trial is an operational trial, but to probably
It's a full-fledged
to answer your question on the technology side for getting the money flow seamless, we have our own wallet. So just the way I think he
No,
explained.
I'm not talking about the wallet. I'm talking about the way work happens, right? They will agree to a certain things, but the commission never comes to you. That's what I'm saying, and that is happening, and that's the reason a lot of people in the tier 2 cities have shut shop. They never got funded because they were looking only at Rajasthan or Punjab.
I'll share experience here. The current entrepreneurs, they are currently getting commission from the other sister companies currently also, and all the entrepreneurs are pretty happy with it. And as a process, we have set up in the entire tech platform itself, where their commission will be auto-detected into their accounts. So there's no manual intervention even, because the entire COD money itself has become automatic here. So this problem will be completely answered in terms of the payments to the delivery boys.
In fact, it becomes risk-free and automated and becomes real-time. For example, with our own wallet, what happens is, as he explained, the moment a parcel is delivered, the same amount gets deducted from the wallet for the person who has delivered the parcel, and excluding the commissions, and it gets transferred and hits our bank almost the same day. And we can do a T+1 remittance to any other company, and which no one in the logistics space, especially targeting rural areas, has been able to do so far. Any other question?
Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Ecology team. Phenomenal ideas, interesting presentations, and all the more enlightening Q&A session, right? Now, I would call Ms. Ritu Maria to come on the stage and give away the mementos to our eminent investors. On the stage, I would call our eminent investors, Mr. Muthu Singaram, CEO, founder, Vibazon, Madras, HTIC Incubator. Mr. Soumyajit Guha, Principal, Jarvis Accelerator. Mr. Anil Chikara, Serial Entrepreneur and Angel Investor, Marco Polo Ventures. Mr. Amit Mishra, founder, ID8 VC, government startup, Startup TV evangelist. Mr. Damnesh Kumar, CEO and co-founder, Yo Gems and Mentor Chair. Mr. Vikas Chaudhary, Head of Godrej Incubation Center. Mr. Ankur Gupta, investor in Godrej Incubation Center. And Ms. Natasha Singh, founder and CEO, Wager. Thank you, Ms. Ritu Maria. Now I would like to ask the judges and the investors to think upon the winner. So many investors, so many startups. Let's see who's the chosen one for today. Now may I please call Mr. Ritu Maria to announce the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think the whole idea of actually calling the startups to present is to help them or to give them a platform to get their business really started, and also to get their business vetted in one sense from mentors and investors who were present over here today. Ideas today require some initial incubation, they require some initial breathing space, and that is what Entrepreneur Media has been sort of trying to do by doing the startup kickoff and by helping startups to come forward. And hopefully from where we look at it is that maybe in the coming years they will really be the large, small, medium enterprises of this country. So I think they really, I would say the kickoff is not really about winning and losing, but it's really more about seeing where we are going with our business plans and actually taking them in the right direction. So unanimously, I think the answer that has been given to me by the team is Uclean has been picked up by the investors as one of the most sought after businesses. So I'll call up Arunabh to come up over here and hand it over to Ashika to move forward with the next session.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. I'm the Associate Editor of Entrepreneur.com, and I'm very happy to have you today. Starting with our next session will be our speakers who are coming in now. The panel is called Disruption from the Frontline. At a time when, we have threat of jobs going to machines, we have technologies such as the AI, the VR, taking over a host of our work. It's time to understand what businesses can entrepreneurs really develop. Is it time for entrepreneurs to move from traditional businesses and ape the technology that's coming up today? In our esteemed panel, we have our session leader, Dr. Shrikant Sundarajan, who's the partner of Venture East. Can we have him on stage, please? Hi, sir. Thank you. He'll be leading the panel with our other speakers for today, Mr. Tarun Mehta, the co-founder of Aether Energy, Mr. Arunan, the CEO and co-founder of Shastra Robotics, and Dr. Annie Fair, who's the global head of Citi's Bott McDonald Group. Mr. Sundarajan has been with Venture East and is one of the pioneers who has led companies in the future of disruption from the frontline. I'd invite all my panelists to take over the panel. Please be seated, sir. The mic's going to be with you.
Please. So some of you folks who are at the back, you could probably come up front, because we can actually kind of have a lot more interaction in terms of technology, and we're going to talk about several topics today. So it would be great if you can actually come up. No, because it's easy. Actually, there is three of you could be there. Okay. So are we good to start? Are we good to go? Okay, great. So I think the approximate format that I was actually told was basically to let each of the panelists speak a little bit about what they're seeing in terms of technology, what's happening. And I'm really lucky today because there are two companies that I've been mentoring, and I mentor a lot of companies, probably about 40, 50, in addition to investing. And Tarun to my left is basically the CEO, founder of Aether Energy, which is the next generation electric vehicle play. coming out of India. He's ex-IIT Madras too. Then we have Ronin. Ronin is actually working on an exciting robotics company. And of course, Dr. Ann. Dr. Ann actually heads up the cities globally for Mott MacDonald. And Mott MacDonald has been a big name in engineering services for the last at least 70 years or 80 years, if not more, right? And they're based out of Europe, and they've done a lot of interesting projects and are still doing interesting projects in the context of India, both airports, smart cities, etc. So I'll start with Tarun, okay, since you're closest. And then we can flip the order. Tarun, you actually, 4 years ago, okay, you had this idea in IIT Madras and from the design school, and a bunch of you guys got together and said, we'll make EVs, right? In your journey, what are some of the exciting things that you've actually kind of hit, like especially when you talk about battery technology, battery management, chassis design, getting multiple disciplines of engineering and software and electronics, electrical engineering to come together?
So we started about a little bit more than 3.5 years, just under 4 years back. What we're doing is just quick 30-second background. We're designing and building smart electric two-wheelers. We have been at it since 4 years. We started from IIT Madras, and now we are based out of Bangalore. We unveiled our first product, the S340, last year, and right now we are in the midst of setting up production to start shipping early next year. So that's a quick background. Now, some of the interesting things that we have seen in our journey. So, given that EVs are a very nascent industry, specifically, actually, if you come down to India, most of the technology that goes in electric vehicle is really new, and you don't have vendors for most of your components. As an illustration, if you were to start building a petrol two-wheeler today, you will not start by saying, how should I inject fuel in this engine, right? Like, you will just go turn up at a Bosch, right? And like they will have like 100 different sort of fuel injectors tested in millions and millions of miles, really, really completely thought through. You don't have to worry about the engineering there at all. What you have to do is, as an OEM, you have to be very strong integrator. You have to spec out your product very well, and you will find enough options that you can pick components from. That completely goes out of the window when you start building an electric vehicle. And that's something that's been our central strategy right from the start, that we cannot rely a lot at this point on external vendors, whether it is hardware, electronics, power electronics, or the mechanical components like chassis, the drivetrain, motor, controller, battery, or the software that goes on our vehicle. So accordingly, we have bought a lot of these things in-house. So that gives us an interesting advantage in the short term and in the mid to possibly long term. You get a very tight control on all your products, on all your components, that allows you to work with changes really, really rapidly. Because today in the EV industry, whether you're working with battery packs, for example, our battery packs has gone complete overhauls over the last 4 years, like at least 2 complete overhauls. Like from what we started to what we are, it's a complete change. That would have been an impossible change to pull off had we been working with multiple vendors. Same for our power electronics, same for our dashboards. Our dashboard was Linux once upon a point. It's now Android, and that changes the complete stack, that changes all your code, that also sometimes means changes in hardware. So we've seen an interesting journey over the last few years. It's still very nascent in India. Most of those vendors and most of the ecosystem still does not exist. And that probably what gives us an interesting mode today.
Thanks, Tarun. Dr. Ann, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. I know when Mott MacDonald came to India, there's a 30-40-year history because you did acquire the Lal Consulting, and then you started on your journey. What is the most exciting thing? I mean, I know you folks worked on the Delhi Metro, several metros. You've actually worked on airports. You actually kind of worked on making buildings smarter. But what were some of the challenges, and is India ready? I mean, I'm talking about the labor, or resources. I mean, are you able to hire good engineers to kind of help out with all these new projects that you're involved with?
quite a few questions there that are really interesting questions to answer. And I think it would be fair to say that we find that the pace of development is really exciting. I think the challenges as well and the opportunities that are being presented by the new smart cities and also the development of the cities, not necessarily the 100 smart cities, but those 2,000 railway stations that need to be redeveloped as hubs, as transport hubs, but also hubs for development. People are doing things differently.